I'm here to show you how to play the major scale on the guitar. If you don't know the notes of the neck already, I suggest you go back and learn them. In my previous lesson I showed you how to do that. I suggest that if you haven't done that, you should. If you haven't done that, you can still watch this and get something from it. But if you do know the notes of the neck, you're going to have a much easier time using this information. This is one of many ways to learn the major scale. All have equal and valid premise. My way gets people up and running in a quick and easy format. So, right now what I'm going to show you is the structure of how a major scale is built, and it's how it's built on every instrument. The major scale and all scales are built combining different intervals, specifically half steps and whole steps, in different orders. And the structure of a major scale in terms of order is this right here. This is a whole step, a half step, followed by 3 whole steps, ending with a half step in this fashion. Whole step, half step, whole step, half step. Write this down. On the guitar, it looks like this. If we want a C major scale, we start with the note that we want the scale to be, which is C. And we play this interval structure. So a whole step is 2 frets, a half step is 1 fret. So we go whole step, followed by a second whole step, half step, 3 whole steps, and ending with a half step to complete our scale. 1, 1, half, 1, 1, 1, half. Pretty simple, right? So, the way to play this distribution of notes on other parts of the guitar rather than on one string is to separate it into 2 components. The way I teach this is I have people memorize a shape, a sequence if you will. Now if you can look at this diagram, this is the first fret on the B string. This is the first fret on the B string. And that note is C. So this sequence of notes is what you're going to be using to learn the major scale. To learn this shape, this pattern. Learn this pattern. Because you're going to be using this pattern as your only template to play the major scale. So it looks like this on the guitar. So what I want you to do is to take every C that's on the guitar, here, 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 and here, and play that sequence of notes. So starting here on the high E string, it looks like this. Only 4 notes. Down here it's, here's C again, play it again. C here. Here. And finally on the low E string. So you don't move on until you've mastered this pattern. You're only going to be improvising with 4 notes. I suggest you play some sort of chord progression in the key of C, and then you improvise and create melody over it with these 4 notes on a single string, starting with the high E. You can slide, You can hammer on, pull off, you can bend, combining, same thing down here, every C. Whatever pattern you want to create is fine, but you're only going to use 4 notes until you know you have them. The next thing we do is we find the 5th note in the scale. So we go back to our structure. Right there is our 5th note. First note is C, 5th note is G. And we play the exact same pattern as we did in the beginning, but starting on G. Skip a fret, ending with the note C. So the first half of our scale, in terms of a pattern and its structure, and the second half of our scale, starting on G, are identical in shape. So we're only memorizing one pattern to play the entire scale anywhere on the guitar. So we take our G's and we play the second half of the scale, doing the same thing. G on the B string is here. On the 8th fret, play the same pattern. Skip a fret, half step. Open G string, and on the 12th fret. 5th fret on the D string. 10th fret on the A string. 3rd fret on the low E string. So now you've learned the complete scale, the complete C major scale, dividing it into 2 sections, the first note and the 5th note, and now you have all the information to play the C major scale anywhere on the guitar. So the next step is combining them so you can choose where you want to be, and it's pretty simple.